morning light touches your face, you're standing at the border between what was and what can be. The world feels quiet, yet full of unseen challenges waiting to test you. Most people begin their day with distractions, scrolling through noise, chasing comfort and letting chaos dictate their direction. But the Stoic begins differently. A Stoic morning isn't about control. It's about preparation. It's about aligning your mind before the world demands a piece of it. And this alignment begins with a few timeless affirmations, thoughts that serve as armor, calmness, and clarity before the battles of the day begin. The first affirmation is simple yet powerful. I control my mind, nothing else. Every day brings situations that try to pull you out of your peace. Someone's words, traffic, disappointment, or failure. Most people react, but the Stoic remembers this truth. Nothing external can touch the mind unless you allow it. The weather can be harsh, people can be unfair, but your response is your power. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself each morning that he would meet people who are selfish, arrogant, and ungrateful, yet he chose calmness because he understood that his reaction was within his control. So when you wake up, whisper to yourself, I control my mind, nothing else. With that thought, you step into your day untouchable, steady, and centered. The second affirmation, today I will act, not react. A Stoic doesn't live on impulse. He lives by choice. Life will test your patience, a sudden argument, a plan that collapses, or an unexpected delay. But strength isn't about avoiding these things. It's about meeting them with awareness. When you say this affirmation, you remind yourself that you are not a puppet of emotion. You are the sculptor of your own behavior. To act, not react, means to pause before emotion dictates your next move. It means to think before you speak, to observe before you judge, and to choose peace when anger whispers otherwise. This habit transforms your day, because every challenge becomes a chance to demonstrate mastery, not weakness. The third affirmation, discomfort is my training. Most people run from discomfort. The Stoic welcomes it like a teacher. Whether it's waking early, facing rejection, or doing what's difficult, every form of discomfort is an invitation to grow. Seneca said that a soft life makes a weak soul. By embracing discomfort, you sharpen your inner blade. Each morning, remember, if something feels difficult, it's not a punishment. It's practice. When the water is cold, when the road is long, when you feel resistance, say to yourself, this is my training. Because strength is not born in ease. It's built in endurance, one moment of discomfort at a time. The fourth affirmation, I will live today as if it's my last. This doesn't mean living recklessly. It means living with awareness. Every sunrise is a reminder that you are granted another day, not guaranteed it. The Stoics believed in memento mori, remembering death, not to fear it, but to appreciate life more deeply. If this were your last day, how would you walk, speak, and treat others? How would you face your work? When you start your morning with this thought, you cut through the trivial and hold on to what truly matters. You stop complaining about small things and start acting with purpose. Life feels lighter yet more meaningful. The fifth affirmation, I will not let fear dictate my choices. Fear disguises itself well. Sometimes it looks like hesitation, overthinking, or procrastination, but underneath all of it lies the same root: fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of discomfort. The Stoic mind sees through it. Epictetus said, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. When fear whispers, the Stoic answers with courage. Courage doesn't mean you don't feel afraid. It means you move anyway. So each morning as you breathe in strength, remind yourself, fear does not rule me. Walk into uncertainty knowing that fear is temporary, but regret is forever. The sixth affirmation, gratitude is my foundation. Before you rush into the day, stop. Look around. You are breathing. You have one more chance to do what many never will again. Gratitude isn't just a feeling. It's a perspective that turns ordinary days into sacred moments. The Stoics practiced gratitude not as comfort but as discipline. They gave thanks for challenges, for struggle, for every reminder of what is fragile and fleeting, because gratitude turns chaos into clarity. When you begin your morning with it, you no longer chase what you lack, you honor what you already have, and that's where real peace begins. The seventh affirmation, I am the calm in the storm. No matter how wild the day becomes, this affirmation centers your spirit. You can't control the world, but you can control your inner weather. Others may panic, complain, or collapse, but you and the Stoic can remain calm. Your peace is your weapon. Your silence is your strength. Calmness doesn't mean weakness. It means mastery. The one who stays calm when others lose control holds true power. So as the world rushes and rages, you become still. You become the eye of the storm, steady, present, unshaken. Each of these affirmations isn't meant to be said once and forgotten. They are reminders to carry in your mind throughout the day, armor for the soul. When you repeat them each morning, your perspective changes. You no longer wake up lost in the noise. You wake up anchored in truth, ready for anything. The Stoics didn't live easy lives, but they lived with strength, clarity, and peace. That same power lives in you, waiting to be remembered each morning you rise. The sun rises, but most people never truly wake up. They open their eyes, yet remain asleep inside, dragged by yesterday's worries, tomorrow's fears, and endless noise that clouds their mind. The Stoic, however, begins differently. For him, the morning is sacred, a moment to return to himself before the world demands his attention. He knows that how he begins determines how he will endure, and so before speaking to anyone, he speaks to his own soul. These Stoic affirmations are not mere words. They are reminders of power, purpose, and peace. Invisible armor for the mind. The first inner reminder of the day is this: I am responsible for how I see the world, no matter what happens. The Stoic knows that reality is not what occurs but how he interprets it. Two people can face the same storm. One curses the rain, the other thanks it for cleansing the path. You can't always control events, but you can control your perspective. Every insult, delay, or disappointment is neutral until your mind gives it meaning. When you say this affirmation, you reclaim your power from the chaos around you. You stop blaming and start understanding. You stop reacting and start responding. This is the quiet transformation that turns ordinary mornings into sacred beginnings. When you realize that peace is not found, it's chosen. The second reminder: I will not waste energy on what I cannot change. There are countless forces outside your control: people's opinions, outcomes, time, the past, and even the weather. The Stoic doesn't fight these things. He releases them. He saves his energy for what truly matters: his actions, his discipline, his choices. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." The moment you accept that truth, your heart becomes lighter. You stop chasing control and you begin to cultivate mastery. Each morning, whisper this affirmation to yourself, and you'll feel a quiet freedom, the kind that no chaos can take away. The third reminder: obstacles are the path, not the problem. Every morning carries unseen challenges, perhaps an argument, a failure, or an unexpected delay. But the Stoic doesn't see them as interruptions. He sees them as instructions. Each obstacle trains a different virtue: patience, courage, humility, or endurance. The Stoics believed that life is a constant test, not a punishment. So when things go wrong, you remind yourself, this is not against me, this is for me. This shift turns struggle into strength. The moment you stop resisting life's difficulties, they begin to shape you into someone unbreakable. The Stoic doesn't ask, why me? He asks, what can I learn? And that single question transforms pain into purpose. The fifth reminder: I will let go of judgment towards myself and others. Every morning the mind tries to label good, bad, right, wrong, but the Stoic practices neutrality. He understands that people act from their own ignorance and pain. To judge them harshly is to misunderstand human nature. Marcus Aurelius said, when you wake up, tell yourself, today I shall meet people who are meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, deceitful, envious, and unsocial. Yet he also said, they are like this because they do not know good from evil. When you release judgment, you release tension. You stop expecting perfection from others and yourself. You live lighter, wiser, calmer. This doesn't mean ignoring truth, it means accepting reality with compassion. The sixth reminder: silence is my power. In a world addicted to noise, silence becomes a weapon. The Stoic doesn't need to prove, argue, or boast. His calmness speaks for him. When emotions rise, he chooses stillness. When others rush to speak, he chooses to observe. Silence allows wisdom to surface. It reveals truth that words often hide. Each morning, as you prepare to step into the day, remember this: your calm presence is louder than any noise. You don't need to respond to every insult, opinion, or misunderstanding. Sometimes the strongest response is stillness. The seventh reminder: each moment is enough. This is perhaps the most beautiful Stoic truth. Life isn't waiting in the future. It's unfolding right now. The Stoic doesn't chase happiness, and he experiences it in simplicity. the warmth of tea, the quiet of dawn, the breath between thoughts. These are moments most people overlook while chasing the next thing. But the Stoic knows that this moment is sacred. It doesn't need more, it doesn't need less. It simply needs your presence. So each morning, before you move into the day, pause, breathe, feel the weight of now. You'll realize that the day doesn't need to be perfect to be peaceful. It just needs you to be present. When these reminders become daily rituals, mornings transform. They stop being a race and become a meditation. You stop waking up to the world's demands and start waking up to your own strength. Stoicism is not about denying emotion or pretending to be unshaken. It's about mastering yourself so deeply that nothing outside can rule your inside. You begin your day grounded, awake, and clear, not because life is easy, but because you have chosen to be steady. Every day begins the same for most: alarms, hurry, noise, and the silent weight of unfinished things. But for a Stoic, the morning is not chaos. It's a ceremony. It's a sacred meeting with oneself before facing the world. The Stoic does not wake up to escape sleep. He wakes up to meet life, fully aware, fully grounded, fully alive. And this awareness is sustained by quiet affirmations that sharpen the soul like a blade before battle. These affirmations are not meant to decorate the mind. They are meant to anchor it. They remind you that life is brief, uncertain, and precious, and that the only true victory lies in mastering your own self. The first morning reflection: I am not owed anything. Most frustration comes from invisible entitlement. The belief that life should be fair, that things should go as planned, that people should act as we expect. But Stoicism cuts through that illusion. Life owes you nothing. The world doesn't promise ease or understanding. The Stoic wakes each day with no expectation of favor, and therefore he is never disappointed. When something goes wrong, he accepts it as part of nature's course. When things go right, he receives them as gifts, not guarantees. This mindset turns bitterness into humility and chaos into acceptance. The moment you realize that nothing is owed, you begin to see everything as grace. The second reflection: my peace is my greatest possession. In the noise of ambition, people chase things that shine but don't last: money, praise, validation. Yet all of them fade. The Stoic knows that peace is the one treasure worth protecting. It is the fortress of the mind, the calm in which clear decisions are born. Nothing external, not wealth, not attention, not success, can replace it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." When you repeat this affirmation each morning, you remind yourself not to sell your peace cheaply, not for arguments, not for drama, not for anything fleeting. You begin the day rich because you carry your calmness like gold within. The third reflection: everything that happens is for my growth. This is one of the Stoics' most powerful beliefs. Nothing is wasted, not pain, not failure, not loss. Each experience, however unwanted, carves the mind and strengthens the heart. The Stoic doesn't run from hardship. He studies it. He extracts wisdom from every bruise. When something painful happens, he doesn't say, "Why me?" but "What is this trying to teach me?" That shift changes everything. Because when life becomes your teacher, nothing can defeat you, everything refines you. Each morning, remind yourself, everything that happens today will serve my growth. It turns frustration into fuel and weakness into wisdom. The fourth reflection: I will meet the world with virtue. Stoicism teaches that we cannot always choose our circumstances, but we can always choose our character. Virtue, wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance is the highest good. Every action, no matter how small, becomes meaningful when done with virtue. Whether you're working, speaking, or walking among strangers, each act can express your integrity. The Stoic doesn't ask, "Will this make me happy?" He asks, "Is this right?" Because happiness follows virtue naturally, like a shadow follows light. So when the day begins, remind yourself, no matter what comes, I will act with virtue. It is the only compass that never fails. The fifth reflection: I will not seek validation. I will seek alignment. The modern world runs on approval, likes, praise, applause. But the Stoic is not concerned with being seen. He is concerned with being true. What others think is beyond his control. The only opinion that matters is that of his own conscience. If he acts with reason, integrity, and calmness, he is at peace, whether others notice or not. Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." This also applies to attention. When you wake up and affirm this truth, I will not seek validation, I will seek alignment. You begin walking in quiet confidence. You no longer perform life, you live it. The sixth reflection, I accept what I cannot change, good, and change what I must. This affirmation captures the essence of Stoic balance. There is wisdom in surrender, but also power in action. The Stoic learns to discern the difference. Some things, the weather, other people's choices, the passage of time, it must be accepted with grace. Others, your habits, your discipline, your mindset, must be shaped with courage. Each morning you stand between these two truths, acceptance and effort. The art of living lies in knowing when to let go and when to act. Whisper to yourself, I will not fight the wind. I will adjust my sails. That's Stoic mastery. Not resisting life, but flowing with it intelligently. The seventh reflection, I will live today fully without haste. Life is not lived tomorrow. It's not stored in plans or trapped in regret. It happens only now, and in this breath, this step, this sunrise. The Stoic understands the fragility of existence. Every day could be the last, so he lives with awareness, not fear. He doesn't rush through the morning. He absorbs it. He feels gratitude for the breath in his chest, the silence in his room, the light in his eyes. He lives slowly enough to notice beauty and strong enough to face truth. When you begin your day with this reflection, life stops feeling like a race and starts feeling like a gift. There's a rare kind of morning that doesn't start with noise, it starts with awareness. The Stoic doesn't rush into the day like everyone else, chasing duties and distractions. He pauses, he breathes. He remembers that every sunrise is borrowed, not guaranteed. And in that silence, he renews his strength, not from caffeine or motivation, but from reflection. These Stoic affirmations are not shallow words to feel better. They are reminders to live better. They build a fortress around the mind, one brick of wisdom at a time. Each thought becomes a seed of resilience, preparing you to move through the world with calmness, control, and quiet strength. The first reminder, I will remain calm even when the world is not. Peace doesn't depend on silence. It depends on steadiness. The Stoic understands that storms will come, in people, in plans, in emotions, but his calmness is not negotiable. When others lose patience, he holds presence. When others raise their voice, he lowers his ego. Calmness is not weakness. It's the highest form of strength. It means refusing to let temporary chaos shake permanent wisdom. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Each morning, when you affirm your calmness, you promise yourself that no noise will enter the temple of your peace without permission. The second reminder, I will act with purpose, not impulse. Modern life is built on reaction, constant scrolling, comparing, and consuming. The Stoic resists that pull. He doesn't act because everyone else does. He acts because it aligns with his values. He thinks before he moves. Every step, every word, every decision flows from reason, not emotion. This is what makes a person powerful. Not aggression, but intention. Before you start your day, remind yourself, I will act with purpose. Every action should either serve virtue, help another, or strengthen discipline. Anything else is noise. Purpose gives weight to every minute and transforms an ordinary day into a meaningful one. The third reminder, adversity reveals my strength. You never truly know your strength until the world tests it. The Stoic does not pray for an easy life. He prays for the strength to endure a difficult one. Challenges are not punishments. They are mirrors reflecting your resilience. When something painful happens, most people crumble or complain. The Stoic stands firm and whispers, this is the moment I've been training for. Each hardship is a hidden classroom. Each struggle teaches something comfort never could. The Stoic rises above the storm not by fighting it, but by allowing it to make him sharper, stronger, and wiser. When you begin to see adversity as a teacher, fear fades and courage grows. The fourth reminder, I will live by inner standards, not outer noise. The world constantly tells you what to value, status, attention, pleasure, convenience. But the Stoic lives by a different compass. His standards come from within, integrity, reason, humility, and courage. The crowd may move in one direction, but the Stoic walks his own path quietly, even if it's lonelier. He doesn't measure success by applause, but by peace. Epictetus said, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. The Stoic understands that living rightly will often make him misunderstood. Yet he chooses it anyway. because the goal is not to please other, it's to please his own conscience. The fifth reminder: I will forgive quickly and hold lightly. Resentment is a poison the soul drinks hoping it harms another. The Stoic knows this truth deeply. He doesn't hold grudges. He releases them. When someone wrongs him, he understands. People act according to their understanding, their pain, their ignorance. To forgive is not to forget. It's to free yourself from carrying unnecessary weight. Life is too short to drag yesterday's burdens into today. Each morning remind yourself, I will forgive and I will move on. You cannot walk far with clenched fists. Let go, and you'll find your spirit lighter and your focus sharper. The sixth reminder: I will do my duty regardless of recognition. In a world obsessed with reward and visibility, the Stoic finds fulfillment in silent discipline. He doesn't perform for applause. He acts because it's right. Duty is sacred, whether anyone notices or not. He gives his best to his work, to his relationships, to his principles. True strength is doing what must be done even when no one is watching. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This is the heart of Stoicism, to act rightly, quietly, consistently, because virtue is its own reward, and honor doesn't need an audience. The seventh reminder: death is my reminder to live well. The Stoic doesn't fear death, he learns from it. Memento mori, remember you must die, not to sadden but to sharpen. Every morning this truth humbles the mind. It strips away the trivial and reminds you that time is your only real currency. Knowing that life can end at any moment teaches you how to live each one more deeply. You stop wasting hours on things that don't matter. You stop delaying peace for someday. You speak truth while you can. You love fully while you can. You live honestly while you can. When you accept mortality, every sunrise becomes sacred. Every breath becomes a miracle. These reflections are not just philosophy, they are daily training. Stoicism is not about cold detachment. It's about living with fierce clarity. It's learning to love life as it is, raw, unpredictable, imperfect, and to meet it with discipline and grace. When the morning light touches your face, you're standing